Hi, and welcome to this talk of mine about schizophrenia and how it's very common within mental health to feel ostracized, to feel left out of society, to feel like an outcast, a misfit in this world. How it is very easy for anybody, really, in this world to feel left out, ostracized, depressed, like a misfit, like an outcast of society. I think we all, to some degree, have this experience within us of feeling ostracized, feeling left out, feeling like an outcast, feeling like a misfit in this world. Now, considering that the world, this earth, this bright shining star, you might call it, is a big mirror, actually. It's a huge mirror that will reflect back at us, human beings, what goes on within us. It will reflect back at us our innermost secrets, our nitty-gritty details, our evil thoughts, thinking, or the things that are prominent in our minds, in our beingness, in our body. It will reflect that back at us for us to take responsibility for it, to forgive it, to embrace it, to equalize with it, to become responsible within it, and to change from such a ingrained pattern. So, a solution that I found from living as ostracized, feeling like a misfit, I don't belong here, this is not my home, I belong somewhere else, I'm an alien, feeling like I belong somewhere else other than this planet Earth, in society, in the municipality, in the nation, where one lives, and just feeling left out and stuck out. And it's very peculiar because within refusing to face one's darkest inside, within refusing to face one's darkest secrets, one is actually living it. Within refusing to face one's darkest doo-doo, one's darkest dark mind, dark secrets that we all have. You don't have to be schizophrenic to have darkness within. Everybody has, to a certain extent, some things that they don't want to show to anybody else. We all have some thoughts, some mind dimensions that we keep hidden and secretive and suppressed, which causes all the havoc we see in this world, without a doubt. So, for me, I look at myself and I see that when there is a point that I don't want to acknowledge, when there is a point I don't want to take responsibility for, I then live that point more. If there is, for instance, a point of self-judgment, I judge myself, and I don't want to face that point. I resist that point, I suppress that point, I deny for that point. That dimension, that self-judgment. I deny and suppress that point of self-judgment. I hide it away, I don't want to face it, I don't want to fucking look at it. In such a moment, I live the point even more. Because I try to suppress it, I give it energies. I give it energy, time and effort, and it grows within me like this, to this huge troll of self-judgment. Because I fear to look at it, because I fear to investigate it, to forgive it, to embrace it as myself and take responsibility for it and become self-honest within it, because I try to suppress it and deny it, I give it my effort, I give it my energy, and it grows into self-judgment. As the troll of self-judgment, example of self-judgment that I've been struggling with lots. So for me to face such a ostracizing point, such a point of being a misfit, with judging myself, with thinking depressive thoughts about myself, and so on, the more I try to just shove that out of the way and suppress it and deny it, the more I try to just deny it, the more it grows, and the more consequence it has in my direct living experience. So, if you feel like an outcast, like a misfit in this world, you feel like this world is not your kind of place, everything is going against you, it's very common. We all have such experiences where we feel lost and like an outcast in society. Because this earth, as we know, is a gigantic mirror reflecting our innermost doo-doo to ourselves that we most often suppress and deny and don't want to face because it's so bad or ugly or evil, whatever you call it. And because of that suppression of those such points, we see the outplay of abuse happening in this world. So, my process have been walking with self-forgiveness, forgiving all the self-judgment, all the dimensions of self-judgment within myself, to confront all my fears and all my emotions, so that they don't have to suppress it and deny it and trip over it every day, and make it grow, and not give it my time and effort and energies, but rather forgive it, embrace it, and find a living word solution. So, particularly with schizophrenia and mental illness, it is very common to feel isolated, to feel ostracized, to feel like a misfit, like an outcast. I am one living example that self-forgiveness has a profound effect. Self-communication, self-forgiveness has a unique and awesome effect on me as of resonance, as of physicality, as of healing. From being an outcast, from feeling like a rejected person, from feeling like the world is rejecting me, from feeling like a misfit, it is me who is abandoning myself. It is me who is being my own, casting myself out. It is all rooted back itself, and my relationship with my body, my relationship with my physical, my relationship with this world, with myself, and the reflection, and how I can live the best version of myself possible. That we prove with Destiny I process, self-forgiveness, and responsibility, self-honesty. So if you feel like an outcast in this world, if you feel like a misfit in this world, first of all, you're not alone. And second, there is a process to walk, to embrace, to forgive, to become one with self. Because you can forgive yourself and you can overcome those emotions, overcome those burdens, overcome all those nastiness of mind and so on, and be a change in this world, not only for yourself, but for everybody else as well. Thank you and enjoy.